Hello children, welcome to geography class. Today we are going to recap the unit 1, the Lead School book back questions. So take page 5. So here you can see the practice question 1, that is of read the list of components in our environment and place them in the appropriate column. So here you can see list of components given in the boxes. So what you have to do, you have to rearrange according to the column given down. So here you can see the natural environment, human-made environment and human environment. So as we learnt all the three components of environment, so here we have to list these components in certain columns. So first let us see air. So it comes under natural environment. Trees, it comes under natural environment. And family, it comes under human environment. And house, it was built by the man, so it will come under human-made environment. Sea, it's created by nature, so we have to keep it in the natural environment. And then Qutub Minar, so it was built by a man. So here you can see that human-made environment comes under human-made environment. And ship and roads too, so these also made by humans, so it will come under the human-made environment. So as we know, all the components of environment, what are there? Natural environment, human-made environment and human environment. See, according to that, if they give some other components of environment to list out down, so you have to do it like this. So the next thing is of the complete the table below to describe the four major domains of the earth. So as we know, what are the four domains of the earth? Lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So first let us see the meaning of the four domains of the earth. So let us know about lithosphere. So it is a solid crust part or the hard layer, top layer of the earth, we'll say, isn't it? And what do you mean by hydrosphere? It is a water surface which was, for example, the half of the earth was surrounded by the water on the earth, isn't it? So that was known as hydrosphere. Then what do you mean by atmosphere? The thin layer of earth, and it consists of gases, dust and water vapor. So here I have written WV, that is of water vapor. Then what do you mean by biosphere? So all together, like air, water and land, all together joined in the earth. So even humans, animals and plants, everything needs all these three things, air, water and land, to survive on this land. So just now we saw the meaning about the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere and biosphere. So let us see the components of each domain. So first let us see the component of lithosphere. So what are the components of lithosphere? We saw that it was made up of rocks, minerals, it goes on, right? So you can write only two components for lithosphere, each and everything. Then hydrosphere, what is the component of hydrosphere? Lakes, oceans, seas, all the water surface which was underground. It may be underground water or the surface water. Okay, the next components of atmosphere is of carbon dioxide, oxygen, it goes on. Then what are the components of biosphere? The three altogether, the three things, atmosphere, hydrosphere and lithosphere. So these all together makes a biosphere. Then what is the significance for humans? So what do you mean by significance? That is of importance related to the domains of the earth. So now we'll see what is the importance of lithosphere for humans. So actually it provides us not only forest, isn't it? It provides us land for agriculture, and to land it gives us land to settle down there. And for example, it provides us grassland, grassy land for the animals to take their food. So these are the importance which are given by the lithosphere. That is of the next thing. What is the significance for humans of hydrosphere is of to sustain the various life forms. For example, without water, nothing can live in this water, even though the humans or plants or whatever else. So this is the main source of life, isn't it? So it was very important for the humans as well as for the animals and plants. Then what is the next significance of atmosphere is of to protect the earth from the solar radiation. For example, in this atmosphere is protecting us mainly from the sun rays. So here the importance for humans is of it protects the earth from the solar radiation. Then what is the main significance of the biosphere is of it helps us to it helps us to involve in the enrolled and involve in the environment. So altogether, as we saw, we need the atmosphere, hydrosphere, lithosphere, that is of the humans need all the three things, air, water and land, to survive in this thing. So it helps to survive in this environment, isn't it? So these are the meaning, components and significance about the four domains of the earth. Then the next thing we are going to see is of what do you mean by environment. So as we learnt about earlier, what do you mean by environment? Environment means it's about everything that is around us, which includes both the living and non-living things such as the soil, water, animals and plants, so that which adapt themselves to their surroundings, isn't it? So that is known as environment. Then what are some biotic and abiotic components of the natural environment? So as we saw in that, so we have seen the biotic and abiotic. So the world of living organisms of or all living things, for example plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, people are all biotic, isn't it? So here they have asked what are some biotic and abiotic components of the natural environment. So for example, you have to write the biotic first. What are the examples? Can you tell me? That is of plants, animals, fungi, bacteria, people, right? And abiotic components is of, what are the some abiotic components are of rocks, water, sunlight, air, wind, land, soil, etc., isn't it? So you have to divide this into two and you have to mention what are the biotic and abiotic components of the natural environment. Then here is a picture given for you. What you have to do is you have to identify and label the important domains of the earth. So how many domains of the earth? There are 4 domains of the earth, that are lithosphere, atmosphere, biosphere and hydrosphere. So you need to identify in this picture and you have to mark it and send it as a homework. Then how is the lithosphere different from the biosphere? So here the lithosphere is the as we saw, it is a hard, solid top layer of the earth, isn't it? But biosphere is a 3 things altogether joined. Which are the thing? That is of hydrosphere, lithosphere and biosphere added to it, isn't it? So this is the difference between the lithosphere and the biosphere. Then so we learned about what do you mean by ecosystem. It is a chain system, and an ecosystem is a large community of living and it's joined together living and non-living things in a particular area. So here you can see the sun gives us the rays from the light. It takes its own food as for photosynthesis, so that the grass eating animal took it, and after that it was followed by so many continuation, right? So at last it decomposed and it becomes the good fertile for the soil. We learnt about the ecosystem, isn't it? So the question next is of give an example other than the one in the book of an ecosystem where biotic and abiotic components depend on each other for survival. Answer in about 80 words. So here it was told. Here you can see in the picture, as it was told in the picture, that here it was given for an example for you. So the food chain has given like this as ecosystem. From sunlight, from the light it gets light, and the animals it eats the grass, and from that rabbit it eats the fox. Like that you have to make another one example for the ecosystem using the biotic and abiotic components. Okay, so you have to answer this question in about 80 words. And here an ecosystem refers to all the living things in the area it given. So here it refers only for the living things. No, it refers also the non-living things. So the answer will be false. Then the biotic components in an ecosystem are not dependent on abiotic components. So here it depends on the biotic as well as abiotic component. Okay, so here it was given as not dependent, but it was dependent on both the things, isn't it? So it was false here. So here what would happen to a pond ecosystem if there were no rainfall, they were asked. So here if there were no rainfall, what will happen? So the grass may not grow because of the land become drought and we couldn't get any plants, so that the animals which will eat the grass So the following ecosystem will be cut. The chain system will be cut, isn't it? So there should be an equal rainfall so that the grass can grow, so that the grass eating animals can eat it, so that meat eating animals can continue the following chain and it become the fertile for the soil. So this is the food chain. We have to write it as they given in the example here. Then in the next page it was given as identify one negative impact on the environment caused by human activity in your area. List 2 ways in which this negative impact can be reversed. So as we saw 3 impacts yesterday, what are they? Pollution, global warming, and climatic change and deforestation. So from that you can take any one impact. You can take any one negative impact on the environment and what can we do for that? That means how can we reverse that? For example, if you take example like pollution means what are the things you can reverse it? You should not throw the garbage in the water, so you should keep your surroundings clean. So whatever else you have to